Just a short interlude here. I got a comment from one of the sovereign citizens about my recent video. And, normally I just read those and just maybe respond in writing, but I figured this one's good enough to where I think I need to go ahead and respond in a video. And so here it goes. I'm not even going to have my regular introduction here, just to get right into it. And of course, this refers to a video I just recently posted. I think it was yesterday. This lady is trying to get out of 7 felony charges that probably started with something very minor. I don't know how she got into felonies, but maybe she started, filing liens against people. That will do it. But whatever the case, you know very well that the felonies that she got was based on probably not understanding what's legal and what's not. But whatever the case, she got into real trouble. I did a video on it, and this person responded. So here we go. It begins. At least she's brave enough to try and make a stand in her truth. Make a stand in her truth. Okay. What exactly have you done to change the system? Well, nothing really. And in fact, she didn't do anything either. She hasn't changed the system. And if anything, she has probably made it even harder for anybody to change the system at this point. But who knows? You seem to be projecting what you think to be the real reason for this movement is. Just because you yourself think it's based in ego does not make it so. I think it's largely ego. I think that what you have are a number of people who are really trying to eke out a feeling of authority and a feeling of expertise in an area for which they really don't have any. They don't have the ability to get a law degree. Maybe they don't have enough money, or they just don't have the aptitude for it. So what they do is they carve out a very tiny niche within the legal system, thinking that if they study it hard enough, they can learn more about it than any lawyer can, and then they can go in and show their stuff. And we know this because they put on license plates that don't make any sense because they want to get pulled over because they're looking for an audience. And what do they always do? They always ask for a supervisor. Why? Because if you're going to walk around a person logically, what better person than an authority figure? And so they want the supervisor there so that they can feel like that they're really pushing somebody of authority around. Yeah, this is largely ego, but that's my opinion, okay? You may feel otherwise. That's fine. And of course, I can't prove this. This is just my theory. Maybe you're not familiar with this idea, but some people see a great injustice in our so-called judiciary system and choose to bravely stand up to it. Well, okay, there is a lot of injustices in our legal system, but she's not standing up to any of it, and neither are you, nor any of the other sovereign citizens. Where are the injustices? Well, number one, poverty. It turns out that poor people have a harder time making bail, and therefore they're more likely to be incarcerated while they're awaiting trial, and therefore they're not as equally able to defend themselves because it's harder to defend a person when he's in jail. That's a grave injustice in our system. Also, the whole idea of having to pay for legal counsel, and if you can't, you get a public defender who are typically hardworking and quite capable, but they don't have the resources behind them to really defend you well. And that's another great injustice. Notice that sovereign citizens don't ever fight against those things. Those are the injustices we face. What's not an injustice? Well, driving 70 miles per hour through a school zone during school and getting ticketed. That's not an injustice, but they'll fight that. I can't believe the cops put on their emergency lights. Don't they know that you can't put on their emergency lights unless there's a real emergency? They violated my 4th Amendment. They violated my 5th Amendment. Dude, you were driving like a banshee through a school zone, could have killed a kid. That's the injustice that they fight. Another injustice is they made me show them my driver's license. That's not an injustice. If you're going to fight injustice, pick on something that's meaningful. That is just a bunch of self-serving crap designed to get you out of a speeding ticket so you don't have to pay a fine. It's self-serving. Don't hand me this crap that you're fighting the law. You're not. So it goes on. What are you doing to further freedom? Well, okay, let me see here. I did choose to spend about, I don't know, 4,000 hours of my time publishing over 300 videos, about 250 of them, all designed to raise awareness of the plight of a kid who was going up for murder. I also helped in the fundraising for him. Now, did I have a major impact? No, I did not. I never had a large audience. I never raised that much money, but I tried. I did pour my efforts in, and I still continue that today. So yes, I have actually done a lot personally to further freedom. I would like to ask what you've done. Have you put that kind of time and effort in yourself? He goes on, you do a great disservice to the people of this country. Okay, well, I disagree. When you laugh at, demean, and make fun of people for simply trying to find their way through a corrupt judiciary system that does not uphold its oath to the Constitution. I did not laugh at or demean that lady. I'm sorry. If you want to see a person ridiculing her, a real skeptic, he did cover her trial, and he totally tore into her. He was accusing her of eating paint chips and everything. I didn't do any of that. And in fact, I thought I treated her pretty well, considering the fact that none of her theories make a lick of sense, and she's facing serious prison time. And I would suggest to you that if there's anybody out there, fella, who's doing a disservice, it's people like you. You're talking her into a prison cell. You're giving her the encouragement to go up there and just throw away her freedom. She seems like a really nice lady. She's misguided. Somebody needs to step in and say, hey, look, you're going to go to prison. She doesn't realize that. She thinks that somewhere along the line, the judge is going to come along and say, oh, I guess, you know what? You saw right through us. You saw through us. There's nothing we can do. You know, we thought we had you for a little while there, but you kept going at it. And so we finally have to cave in and go ahead and let you go. That's not going to happen. They're going to put her in prison. And you are the one that's encouraging her to stand up there and take it. She needs good advice, good legal counsel right now. This isn't fun and games. To you, this is just some sort of thought experiment, some game you're playing. Let's see how far she can go. She's going to pay a huge price for what she's doing. And it would be nice if somebody would step in and say, look, this is not going to work out well for you. They have the handcuffs. They have the guns. They can throw you in jail. All of your discussion about jurisdiction and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter. Once we put the handcuffs on, we will lead you to prison. You will go. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. As soon as she realizes that, she's going to be one step further to freedom. But people like you are the people that continue to coax her to keep pushing forward. That's the disservice, guy. I'm sorry. The way to handle disservice is not by taking sacrificial lambs and sticking them up there and feeding them with a bunch of horse manure and letting them take on the brunt of the punishment while you stand on the side encouraging her and clapping. If you want to do this thing, do it yourself. You go to prison. You start taking out liens on a bunch of judges. You go do the time. Don't encourage others to do it. As far as about finding their way through a corrupt judiciary system, the only way to find your way through that judiciary system is to know court procedure. She doesn't know it. She needs a lawyer to help her. And I don't want to hear any crap that, well, the lawyer is on the side of the judge. No, he's not. No. The lawyer will do whatever the lawyer can to try to mitigate the harm that she's in. They're not necessarily always good at it, but they'll try. You're not even trying. The system does not uphold an oath to the Constitution. Only people can. Words, they mean things. People have to continually change the names of things because people like you make fun of, demean, and slander people associated with the word. He's talking about the fact that sovereign citizens don't like being called sovereign citizens anymore because people make fun of the name. Okay, fine. The world can always count on people like you to ridicule others who are trying to make positive change and a difference in the world. You know what? The road to hell is paved with good intentions, dude. I'm sorry. They may have the best of intentions, but she's rocketing on a bobsled to prison. It'd be nice if somebody would tell her that. Great job. You must be so proud of yourself. Well, I'm not so much proud of myself, but I do feel pretty comfortable with what I've done for Kyle Rittenhouse and Dominic Black and the others. And I don't have anything to be ashamed of as far as that Sovereign Citizen video goes. I actually treated her far, far better than a lot of people are. And I'm sorry about that, but, the judicial system is not meant for amateurs. All right, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you think about his comments and mine.